Hi, this is Shara with Psychic Miss Paranormal, and today I want to go over an app that I stumbled upon that you can use to get EVPs. First, I want to say that I'm really not a big fan of phone apps or most computer apps that are used for ghost investigating. Ghosts can manipulate all kinds of electronic devices, so they can work with apps, but I find most apps not useful. So first, let me tell you a little bit about the app, and then I'll show it to you and its functions, and then we'll do a test EVP session. I also have a very bizarre find that is pretty interesting that I'm going to share with you. And then I'll give you my conclusion and opinion at the end of the video. So the name of the app is called Solomon, and right off the bat that kind of says paranormal dark side to me. So Solomon, King Solomon, supposedly commanded the 72 demons of the Goetia. People who are more into the dark arts will be more familiar with that. You also notice that the graphics and buttons are more geared to a darker theme. Of course, you may be thinking, paranormal, creepy, scary, dark. Okay, I'd buy that. But this app goes into the darker side a bit more than creepy, and I'll show you why in a minute. So you can hear right away, it kind of sounds foreboding as soon as you put it on. And you can see it says to subscribe to the Devil Hour on YouTube. The graphics is dark as well. It's, goat head on a person. So symbolizing some darker traditions. You see the pentagrams, but at least they're the upright pentagrams, not the upside down ones. So this is a pretty cool app because it has all these interesting features. First, it has a word bank. To the word bank, you can add different frequencies here. They have 4 of them. This one's a solfeggio frequency. Same as this, just a little bit different, 528 hertz there. You could also add the ghost frequency of 18.98 hertz. Let's see, wait. And 7.83 hertz, which is the Schumann frequency. You could shut the word bank off and go for the IP sweep down here, which takes a minute to load. There we go. So you could still use all the frequencies with that. You can use the word bank with it. And then they have different kinds of noises at the bottom. So you have the gray noise here. Have pink noise. There we go. The pink noise is working. Brown noise. It's a little bit softer. And white noise. And while it's interesting that you can add the different types of noises, it kind of overpowers the words that you hear. So there you have it. I like it because there's a lot of different options that you could use. I still have this on. Different sounds, different word banks, different frequencies. So all that can work together really good to give your spirits and ghosts something to work with to get a better EVP. And this is so far the best app that I have used. So let's do an actual EVP session with it. I'm going to use my flash recorder here. Turn that on. It's a very sensitive recorder. As soon as it turns blue, we can record. I'm going to load the IP sweep up because that takes a minute. I'm also going to put the word bank on. I'm also going to use the ghost frequency. Okay.
5:50 again for the rain shower.
So it's 7:05 on March 17th. It's St. Patrick's Day.
Right now.
Alright, is there anyone here with me?
The owned source for my 301.
Who wants to talk to me?
Ian up there. I shall be glad to get back to Kenna, Missouri.
Yes.
This is different.
Is there anybody here that wants to speak with me?
Intelligence. Sure there must be.
You sure there must be? How about you?
I don't care.
What is your name?
St. Clair. The ones.
Is it hard or easy to use this app?
Sometimes enough. White trash is.
Are you alive or dead?
For a large.
Can you see me or just hear me? Are you good or evil?
She lives in. Hardly fits habit.
Can you give me a message about life after death?
That's treachery.
What is the true purpose behind this app besides ghost hunting? Any message for me before I go? Can you say goodbye? Bye. Here are the results of our test EVP session. Any message for me before I go? Are you alive or dead? Can you give me a message about life after death? Can you see me or just hear me? Is it hard or easy to use this app? Is there anybody here that wants to speak with me? You sure there must be? How about you?
I don't care. Intelligent. Sure they must be. I don't care.
The next EVP I ask, is anyone here with me? And they answer, I'm here, but they answer just about on top of my sentence. So just as I'm ending it, they're saying it. So I tried to kind of cut it out so you could hear it a little bit better. Is there anyone here with me? This next EVP, I asked what the true purpose was behind the app, besides for ghost hunting. And the answer was Spittable Satan. And at first I was just going to say, well, Satan, but it kind of made sense when they said Spittable Satan. When you're doing an exorcism on a possessed person, the demon likes to spit on you. So that kind of makes sense. What is the true purpose behind this app besides ghost hunting? Who wants to talk to me?
I shall be glad.
Is it hard or easy to use this app? I also did another session, and I want to play those EVPs for you too because they're pretty cool. And don't forget, I still have a pretty crazy surprise for you. Can this app summon demons? How can I prove that there's life after death? How many gods are there? Is the 72 demons of the Goetia able to be summoned by this app? Is there anyone here with me? Why do they call this app Solomon? Alright, is there anyone here with me?
Yes.
Are you alive or dead? Can you say goodbye? Do demons run this world? Give me a message. Was Jesus an alien? Is this app going to bring demons to people? What is the purpose of this app besides ghost investigating? Will this app curse people? Another feature of the Solomon app is something that I find very interesting, and that is it has a recording of the Lord's Prayer, and it goes backwards and forwards, which sounds very creepy. I'll play that for you. Obviously, this is backwards. Very dark sounding. And as you can hear now, it's going forward. So it sounds pretty ominous for the Lord's Prayer. And you might have heard a few words when it was going backwards that actually sounded forward, like the word evil. So I decided that I was going to put it into an audio program and see what I could find. And what I found was something quite surprising. I noticed right away, playing the Lord's Prayer when it was backwards, I kept hearing words that were forwards. And I mean, that happens a lot of times when you play something in reverse. You'll hear a bunch of words that are forward. Not often, but you do. And but some of these really stuck out. And I'm thinking, well, coincidence. But something just said, check this out a little bit more. So I recorded the words from the Lord's Prayer on the app right into an audio program that I use for my own EVPs, and decided to go through it with a fine-tooth comb to see what I could find. And what I found kind of sounded like a demon chant. So I'm going to play the entire thing backwards like it did right on the app, and I'm going to have the words that go along with it. Some don't have anything there, but some has some very interesting words and sentences there that you can follow along with, and it's just way too much to be a coincidence. Way too much. I would definitely use headphones to listen to this kind of demon chant, so I'm going to play that for you now. So that was pretty darn creepy. What do you think? It just is way too much to be a coincidence, and there's a heck of a message there. It certainly was pretty interesting to put in the Lord's Prayer. Sure, scare off some demons maybe, or some malevolent entities that you might get that's attracted to your EVP session. So play the Lord's Prayer in the creepiest voice you could possibly muster. That will help. And of course, playing it backwards, well, that's kind of like a mock against the Lord, because that's how demonic things go. They do the opposite of what the light side does, and that's kind of how that works without trying to give you a lesson on demonology right now. And here are some EVPs that the Solomon app captured about the Lord's Prayer. Is the Lord's Prayer infused with evil in this app? Is the Lord's Prayer in this app infused with evil? This Lord's Prayer is actually said the way the Lord's Prayer is said, but it literally sounds like a mock against the Lord, and sending out signals to the earth, like it said, and to refuse him, to refuse the Lord. So, I mean, it's just something to think about. But I'm not mocking the app. The app is actually doing its job. But as you can see from some of the EVPs, I think it has the blessings of the dark side. So in conclusion, my opinion is that for once an app actually works pretty decent. And of course it would be one that has the darker theme. But if you want to try this app, just make sure you put your psychic protection in place. That will help a lot. And just be careful when using it. Watch what you do. Make sure you don't extend any invitations, and you should be okay to use this app. It's actually good, and I like it, and I plan on using it and testing this out further. So now go load up that Solomon app, turn off the lights, and don't let the demons bite.